So we got to talk a little bit about Tuesday's election, specifically what happened in the state of Virginia when Democrat former Governor Terry McAuliffe lost his race by huge margins to conservative Republican Glen Younkin, who was endorsed by Donald Trump. The Yuncken campaign made that gubernatorial race about education, about parents' rights. Two specific issues emerged: mask mandates and school closures because of the pandemic, and more importantly, the teaching of critical race theory in Virginia. That was a huge, huge talking point for Yuncken and other Republicans. They made people afraid that we were teaching our kids about racism in school. Oh God, right? The audacity of us teaching actual American history and how racist things have been in the past. That's just a fact. That's not a theory. That's not a conspiracy. That's what happened. And if you're denying that, you're denying the very history of the United States. And parents were furious. They don't want their kids taught these things. They want it out of the schools. The only problem is that these parents didn't recognize critical race theory is not taught in any schools in Virginia. The Republicans ran on a non-issue. They made you afraid of something that doesn't actually exist. And you fell for it. You voted for it. White suburban women overwhelmingly flipped to the Republican candidate because of this. And they did it because of their framing. They created this issue, critical race theory, out of nowhere. And Republicans have been talking about it for months and months and months. It's a non-issue. It's a thing that should be taught. But public schools here in the United States are not actually taught critical race theory. Okay, that is a collegiate level thing that you get into that has many different facets of it. It is a very complicated and complex theory that, I'm sorry, K through 12 children simply cannot wrap their brains around, most of them. So it's not taught in public schools. It's taught at the university level, if you even go that route in your studies. But Republicans made parents afraid. It was a total grift, but it's a grift that worked. And now, after seeing the success in Virginia, Republican strategists are coming out and saying, we're doing that nationwide for the midterms. And they've already laid the groundwork to do it nationwide. I mean, Fox News has covered critical race theory more than pretty much any other issue this year. They've run over 1,000 segments on it. This year, 1,000 friggin' segments. I got 2 YouTube channels. I haven't even done 1,000 videos on idiot Republicans this year. And that's what it is, though. They've laid the groundwork. They've made people afraid of a thing they don't even need to be afraid of. And, of course, that they can't even define. They don't know what it is. Hell, Tucker Carlson on the air last night admitted he doesn't know what it is. He just doesn't want it taught. There were interviews. The group called The Good Liars did interviews with Republican voters in Virginia, asked them what it was because they said it was their most important issue. They couldn't even define it. And instances like that have been happening all year. People talking to voters, what is critical race theory? You're so concerned about it, tell me what it is. Well, I don't really know. And that's the point. Republicans don't want people to know what it is. They don't even want them to know that it's not actually being taught. They tell people, be afraid of this thing. Because if my opponent wins, this thing is going to be a real thing. But if you vote for me, I will keep the fake thing fake. And the idiot voters in this country look at the Republicans and say, well, I don't want the fake thing to be real, so I'm going to vote to keep the fake thing fake. Even though the fake thing was not going to become real. Voters as a whole are stupid. And we have to understand that, and we have to accept that. You know, I hate to quote Men in Black here, but the movie Men in Black, Tommy Lee Jones' character at one point says, a person is smart. People are dumb and panicky. That quote has really stuck with me because that is one of the most honest things I have ever heard in a science fiction movie. A person is smart. But you put a group of them together, and they do become dumb. They do become panicky. And that's what Republicans prey upon. So with a year to go before the midterms, folks, get ready for more fake issues. Get ready for more non-issues, because that is what Republicans are going to feed their voters for the next 12 months. And I promise you, unless the Democrats get better at messaging or deliver stuff for the public, those fake non-issues from the Republicans are going to work.